Hello and welcome to the next video. This video is going to be a bit of troubleshooting and trying to figure out what's wrong. I was riding to go get some parts the other day and the bike just cut out. You'll see in the clip. And then, yeah, it happened again on my way home. So I tried, I'm not exactly sure what's wrong. I've got a feeling it's something to do with the kill switch on the bike or even the kickstand switch. So we're going to have to take it apart and have a look, follow the wires, see if there's a short circuit somewhere that's causing it to kill the engine. But engine just dies. And then I'm able to start it again within the next second or two, but yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on. So I need to take tank off because it's the wiring down the side here, which goes under the tank and the airbox. So I'm going to do that. You guys have seen me do that already. So I'm going to take the tank off and we'll get to figuring out what's going on. Okay, the tank is off. It was very unfortunate that I just filled my tank because it's quite heavy. Now that I've got the ECU loose and the top of the airbox off, I just got to loosen these 6 bolts that hold I can't remember what those are called, but it holds it to the throttle body. I've already loosened the front bolt over there. Then I can take the airbox off. Okay, there we go. I've loosened them. If you know what these are called, let me know in the comments below. I need to trace the cable from the kill switch. That appears to be this cable over here. Okay, there we go. Finally got it out. I think that's the one. Yes, that's the one. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to strip this kill switch on the handlebars and then do a pin out from there to there to figure out which strands out of all of them it is, and then we can work our way back. To strip this, it's just a star screw at the top here and then one at the bottom there, and then I can split this housing, and then we're going to pin out from there to that plug over there to see which of the strands it is, and then try to see if there's damage in the strands. Okay, so the kill switch uses a thick yellow and red and then plain red. So if I look here, we've got the thick yellow and red and then plain red that side. So that is what looks to be a middle pin at the top and then middle pin at the bottom. So we're going to test that quickly. Okay, I just stripped the 3 screws out of that, so now this housing should come out. There we got the loose housing and the buttons themselves. Let's just be careful not to lose the spring there. Back to testing continuity. So let's go to yellow, top pin, continuous. Let's go to red, bottom middle, continuous. Okay, if I go there, it shouldn't ring out top middle to bottom middle. And if I go there, it should ring out top middle to bottom middle, which it does. If you see here, the spring, this is opening up, and that's why we're losing continuity when I'm testing the pins there. So I'm going to put this back together and see if the problem continues. Let's test continuity again. Okay, so I don't think the problem's from here to there. Maybe it's from here in the harness back to the bike, to the ECU. Let's have a look. What I want to do now is I've just taken this out of the bike quickly, because I see there is nicks in the sheath of this cable and there's insulation tape. So I'm going to cut this sheath off to make sure that these cables all look fine, and then I'll just use some fiber harness tape to re-wrap the harness or the wires. Just check, inspect these cables all the way down. That we're going to have a look at to see where does this problem lie. I think I'm going to start re-wrapping from this side. That goes over there like that, and then this gets cable tied together. So I want the cable tie inside the housing so that it's not visible from outside, or the head of the cable tie. Okay, now that's re-wrapped and protected. Let's go put it back on the bike. If you're enjoying the video, please leave me your thoughts in the comments below and hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. To reroute it or to put it back onto the bike, I'm going to run other way. I'm going to start from there, put that roughly. Then it comes through the fork here, like that. I want to make sure I'll go behind the throttle cables. Okay, and then it's in underneath here. Under the throttle cables here again. And then across to where it plugs into the ignition, the harness, which is over there. And that's plugged in. Okay. I think because we're done checking this, I'm going to put this back together to make sure that that's sorted. Okay, that's back on. While I do have the box stripped down so much, and because I'm having the ignition problem, or the problem with the cutout, I thought I'd replace the plugs. So I've just bought the Iridium NGKs, which is a performance plug. So we're going to take the coil packs out, put new plugs in. Well, measure the gap first on the existing plugs, make sure these gaps are the same, and yeah, we'll knock that out while we strip down and bare. Because the throttle bodies are open and exposed, I'm just going to put some paper towel in just to ensure that nothing falls in and damages the butterflies. And if it does, I can get it out quite easily. Okay, so let's start with the plugs, or removing the existing plugs. I'm going to do it one by one so I don't confuse and swap the coil packs. Okay, there's the existing plug. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a feeler gauge to measure the spacing between the prong and the tabs. So that's a 0.75 mil, too big. 0.5 mil. 0.5 mil goes in between, so I'm going to add a little bit more, so that's 0.4. That should be way too much. Let's go 0.5 and a 0.1. Okay, that goes in and it's not too sticky. So the new plug that we're going to put in there, we're going to make sure that the gap is the same size gap. So that's a bit big. Close this gap a little bit. There we go, gap is good. I'm going to add a bit of copper slip onto the plug, just to ensure that it doesn't seize into the cylinder head if it ever needs to come out again. Okay, that's first one in. Okay, and then that should be torqued to 12 Newton meters. I've got my torque wrench here. It's already set to 12. I've got a 1/4 inch to 3/8 inch adapter. Okay, there's 12. Now to do the other two. Repeat the process. One of the things I also want to do is just check all our fuses to make sure that our fuses are fine. Okay, they're all ringing out, but I am also going to visually inspect them. Nope, all our fuses are fine. I actually think these are all spares. They are. Okay, so it's not fuses. I want to check the fuse at the back here now. This is the main fuse. That fuse is also fine. That one's fine. Okay, that's a spare there. So I can close that back up. I've spent hours going through each of the connections, testing the kill stand switch, the kickstand switch, the kill switch, the wiring back to the harness, the plugs themselves. Everything rings out, everything's continuous, so I don't think it's that. I've spoken to Triumph South Africa, and they mentioned to me that it actually might be the stepper motor. But yeah, that's the stepper motor that runs the throttle bodies. So when I pull clutch in, the stepper motor puts the butterflies to idle position, and sometimes when the stepper motor is out of alignment or the out of tolerance, it will actually close the butterfly, which then can kill the engine. So I think what I'm going to have to do is and the only way to actually sort that out is Triumph got to plug into the OBD port again, and then read what the stepper motor's supposed to be at, measure it up, make sure that it's right and within tolerance, and then if it's not, then I tune the stepper motor or adjust the stepper motor to be within tolerance. So the only way I'm actually going to be able to get this sorted is I have to trailer the bike to Triumph and let them get their hands on it and actually sort it out. So unfortunately it's not something that I can fix, but yeah, I'm organizing the trailer so that I can take the bike through to Triumph, and I'll take you along with the process. So after battling to sleep the other night and just constantly racking through my brain what it could be on the bike, what's causing this to happen, I was battling to sleep. So the next day I decided to just retest all the connections, go through everything again, make sure everything's plugged in properly, and just again like racking my brain with everything. I decided to put the bike back together and thought I'd go for a test spin to see if it's sorted, and yeah, went for a ride and it worked fine. It worked so fine that I actually even took the bike for like a fun ride at the track, and the bike handled or did very well, didn't cut out once, didn't have any issues. So in conclusion, I really have no idea what happened with the bike. I do think maybe it was a dry joint or a loose connection somewhere that was intermittent and causing the bike to cut out. It was very, very strange. But as I said, after going through all the connections again and making sure all the plugs are right and everything's fine, that seemed to have solved the problem. So I didn't need to take the bike to Triumph, luckily. That would have cost a bit more money, so I'm glad for that. And she seems to be sorted and riding fine. So we'll have to keep track over the coming weeks and see if it ever does pop up again. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. And yeah, we'll have a look. Thank you so much for watching the video to the end. Greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help grow the channel and allow me to make more content. Thank you very much. Until the next video.